awesome. I can't tell you how pleased I am to be able to get this going again. I'll just try and keep it in, keep the kettle boiling. I'm here for a few hours, so I want to get a few jobs done. First of all, I want to show you around. And I've been having trouble with the microphone, so apologies for the video that you saw on the green manure. The 20-minute video was completely blank. I don't edit, I don't voice over, so I'll just snip that out just to show what I've been up to. Oh, this is nice. The days are chilling down, especially towards the evening. So the last couple of weeks I've been concentrating on plot 3, clearing all the weeds. The main issue with the weeds is because we haven't got fresh wood chips, but we've got this back reasonably well. But the weeds soon come back, but before it just got overpowering. It was very similar to plot 1's looking. So I think I've done reasonably well in just over 2 weeks. All the square foot gardening beds have now put to rest. I couldn't get the Swiss chard to go to seed on the end, so we just pulled it out in the end. The asparagus is still going well, just starting to die off now, and we'll leave it till it dies off completely so it feeds those crowns ready for next year. And I've planted the onion sets, the red ones from Wilco's. I'm going to try and water religiously, whether they need it or not, just to ensure they don't go to seed too early. I pinched all the fresh manure from the permanent bean bed as it was, and if you want to know what I'm going to be up to with those 2 pallet collars there, then why not consider subscribing and hit the bell for all, so that you don't miss any future updates. And we've given the Swiss chard those with the beetroot. That sign needs taking out. We tidied up the Swedes and turnips just to give them a bit of a chance, but you might be able to see the white fly are absolutely everywhere. So every time I get a chance, I just give them a bit of a shake, and hopefully the wind will blow them away. But we've got quite a few crops here that we can have in our soups over the winter. The rest of the carrots are doing okay. We've still got lots of carrots left. We did a reveal for the Malvern show, and we've still got some left, even though my parents had quite a few, and they did really enjoy those sweet candle carrots. The 4 barrels that we acquired, I've got 3 here. Well, I've got 4 here, but 3 of them at the moment have got the taps on. I found that Wilco's did the taps for about £3.50. Elsewhere they're getting close to £5. Very useful, especially when we've got these 4 tanks up here, and the only way to get the water out of those, if we need it, was to either siphon it out or use a pump. But it'd be a lot easier to be able to say to turn a tap on there and have a little pipe, hose pipe going into the barrels there to empty them out as and when we need it during the dry months in summer. I've been pinching a little bit of the soil from the celery bed. Not growing celery again, he says, and we'll be doing a parsnip reveal very soon, so don't forget that. These are the peas that we did in the guttering. I think some rotted off. They didn't do so well. They're looking a little bit on the yellow side, but these are the ones that we planted direct. So I'll be doing that again in the future. These are the late peas from Just Seeds. The variety is Terrain. The Opria. So it's brood balls, pearl leek, living leek, whatever you want to call it. But the we can take those as and when we need them now to liven up the salad. and the walking onions have all started to grow, including some of the smaller ones that were left in the ground. These are permanent beds for these. And we've sown the crimson broad beans, direct sown them, put 3 per station, and we've put some mint, fresh mint we've pulled out and laid across there. That was suggested by one of my viewers to disguise the smell of the beans so the mice couldn't find them. We don't want that to go out, do we? So this is where my permanent potato bed was. That was all the surplus soil and materials I had left over when I built all these scaffold raised beds. We just put some pallet collars together, some pallets together, lined them with some Correx signs, and that's where it stayed. And now I've reused that soil. I've still got some left, but the manure, fresh manure, has gone there. So everything, all the soil that was here went into the bottom of these. Then we put some fresh manure there, then some material, some homemade compost, I believe. Then we've got the 3-year-old wood chips. They're probably getting on for 4-year-old wood chips now. Then some more material from out of the permanent potato bed that we put in bags. And then we topped it up with some material from out of the polytunnel, which you'll see shortly. Show you shortly. And then we've just covered it over to protect any of the nutrients that we've got there. And this has literally cost me absolutely nothing other than 5 hours work, all in one go. Didn't I do well? So this is the green manure. Field beans, they're new seed, but I'm going to save them for seed. So literally, hopefully I'll be able to get enough seed to do like I did last year. Those were new seed as well. These are the ones that you may have seen me chop and drop. Because they were flowering, which I was trying to tell you in the video, but obviously you couldn't hear me, we chopped and dropped those before they flowered, so that all the nitrogen that they had collected in this beautiful sunshine is down in the roots and in the stems and chopped up and all covered up now. And that's where it'll stay until we decide to top it up using the rest of the material out of these tanks. We're doing something different with these. We're going to create wicks, pop the wicks in these blue barrels. And before we go in the polytunnel, I'll show you the material. There's some of the shallots. Those are the HYECHO shallots, or however. That's why I put the big labels so you can look at them. And then the golden gourmet. And we've got golden gourmet here. And I'll probably put these into these beds. This needs topping up again. It's had some manure in it. Oh no, this has had fresh manure, so we'll see how they're doing the fresh manure. We'll top this off with some of the soil that we've got in the polytunnel or that tank. Then we'll get these planted. But these are what I actually shop bought. I couldn't resist it, especially at the price. Bought them at the same time as the Wilco red onions. I must say the birds have had a field time. They have actually pulled them up by the roots. These were direct sown. We've got the red Russian garlic to the right and the elephant garlic to the left. The elephant garlic gets planted about 6 to 8 inches deep. The red Russian a little bit shallower. That's how I plant it. And these beds have still got the labels in from the super soil trial. Every one of my beds will now get super soil, and once these get established, we'll be spraying some on the areas that we've already got things growing. And thank you to those people who sent me something via my PayPal to buy me a coffee. I use those little sachets that you just pour in, and it's got everything in it. So thank you very much, my friends. So these tanks here, are all full, never been touched because we had a little bit of a wet summer towards the end. And there's those taps, and I'll be using those taps eventually, maybe when we've got all the racking sorted in here. At the moment now, this is completely empty of living vegetables. All tomatoes are gone. I've got some strawberry plants, and we've also got those giant carrots, and as you can see there, they're just started to grow again, and hopefully they'll throw up some nice seed heads. And here is some of the soil. You see, I've already dug it out because I've already filmed this once, but this material is quite nice. Some of it's been sifted, so that will go nicely on those pallet collar beds. We're just saving a few of those radish, bought them inside now. They're just started to dry out. Some there need a little bit longer. And I think I've just about got all the radish white albina. Won't get too many from them, but again, I can save the seed. And we've got some potatoes there. I should do a reveal very soon on the living green compost and my homemade compost to see if it made any difference with some of the rocket potatoes. I am hoping to get the double skin on. I want the top bars to dry out enough to get the heat tape on, because once this inner skin's on, I'm not going to be able to get to the top of there. So I've just got to make sure it's dry enough to get the heat tape on, so that I haven't got to put the heat tape on when I cover the outside, because I'm going to cover the inside and double skin it to wherever my finger is, to there. And then we'll be putting the racking on, which will fold down during the summer and then fold up during the winter. Using the irrigation, we should be able to grow a few vegetables in here, especially if we end up purchasing a Chinese heater at some stage. But for now, those barrels will stay. Next summer, when everything's done in here, we should have some wooden beds, because the cloth pots didn't really work for me, because I didn't have time to keep watering. I originally was going to run 2 rows similar to this here, but we just didn't have enough room. I've got half a metre there, the same as the scaffold beds, and then plenty of room similar to down there to get the wheelbarrow down. But this has worked really well. I can reach both sides quite easily. They're all lined, and they're off the ground, so that none of the pallet collars touch any moisture, so they should last a lot longer. So today I haven't got my microphone in. I found that the microphone works when I put the microphone in. It works well when I'm in front of the camera, but you can hear me better when I'm got no microphone in, when I'm on this side. So I'm going to have to bear that in mind in the future, because occasionally, for some reason, it doesn't record the sound, which is a little annoying. But thanks for watching, guys. Please leave me a comment on how you intend to keep on top of your allotments or growing spaces throughout the cooler months. I know some people get locked out for the winter, but we're only allowed here during daylight hours, and then the gates are locked. But how do you cope? And please remember to hit that like or dislike button for the interaction. Again, remember to leave me a comment if you wish, or you can comment, or you can contact me via my Gmail if you've got any urgent questions. And if you wish, consider subscribing so you don't miss any future updates. I'm in a better frame of mind. I'm on top of things a little bit until I get to plot 1. But that will hit that hard. But we've got the leaves, 2-year-old leaves to put through the trommel, and the comfrey pipe. There's lots of things going on. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.